Let me pitch my presentation at the meeting tomorrow.
The call has gone out for both Freestar Collective and
really
United
care.
Colonies Security to unite and do something about this common threat. But cooperation is in short supply after the colony.
I heard they had a breakthrough at the lab recently. All kinds of new possibilities, they say.
You don't say.
News you can trust.
Oh, look who's got a Laredo gun. Welcome to civilization. Everything good? We're here to help.
Any day you make it through is a victory in my book. Man, the galaxy's too big to be stuck in the same place. On it.
Take a look around. It's a good bet I've got something you need. Exhausted, more like. It's just me running things here. Makes for some real long work days. Of course, that's in addition to the special orders, trade contracts, and supply arrangements that I deal with on a daily basis. I also work with the Council of Governors, the Trade Authority, the Freestar Rangers, you name it. Feels like I'm providing a service to the city while trying to run a business. So yeah, I don't get a lot of sleep. Take a gander.
Welcome to the Hitching Post. We just opened, so it's great to have you. Not quite opening day, but close enough for some specials. Yeah, that's right. Been scraping together the money for months now. I got some mail from my girl Alejandra too, but not as much as everyone's saying. I swear half the people in the city think I'm freeloading off her, which really burns me up, you know? Anyway, that's probably more than you wanted to hear. Let me know if there's anything else you need, yeah? See for yourself.
Excuse me, is your ship in need of a doctor? Or a botanist? I might be able to help. I trained to be a surgeon at the Corps, but I know a lot about rongoa and internal medicine too. My parents are doctors. I grew up learning from them. Really? That's great. I'm looking forward to the adventure. I've never left Aquila City before. I obviously know a lot about medicine, and I'm an experienced botanist too. I'd be happy to help collect samples in the field. Oh, let me think about that. In my experience, the right offer is always worth waiting for. hold on. I never said that was my final offer. I try to be. You seem like a trustworthy person. I'll work for what you're offering. Oh, thank you. I'll work hard, I promise. I need to gather some supplies before we leave and say goodbye to my parents. See you later, Captain. Thanks again.
Ever wonder how the Crimson Fleet seems to be everywhere?
Dad, do you think Solomon Coe would have liked me?
Sure. Everybody likes you, don't they?
Do you think he would have liked you?
Well, if you listen to your grandpa, Solomon Coe would have given me a good whooping. But I think he would have liked the man I grew into.
Hi. Have any new books for me? Bye.
Engine's perfect. Let's do this. This right here is my catnip. Orbit reached. Let's see what there is to see.
Please respect priority docking for emergency patients. The clinic welcomes all.
Pressure normalized and we're docked. The clinic's a bit of a legend in the medical field.
Hello, Captain. Ma'am, I'm just a courier.
I understand that. I'm not blaming you directly. Dr. Salvato, how long have you been here?
About a year now, Doctor.
And in that year, how many times have we had this conversation about late or missing shipments of supplies?
I believe this is the third time.
Yes, that sounds right. 3 times. I will be making it very clear to your superiors that lives are at stake, and the clinic requires reliable transport. If your company cannot meet our needs, someone else will.
Yes, ma'am. Understood.
Thank you, Dr. Salvato. You may return to your duties.
Thanks for delivering critical supplies would be nice to hear once in a while. I hate this delivery run. Can't ever get here fast enough.
It's encouraging to know that every case we cure here likely means dozens or hundreds more can be saved in the future. Welcome to the clinic. I'm Dr. Darvish, Chief of Medicine. Is there something I can do for you? I thought perhaps the name gave it away. This is one of the preeminent medical care centers in the Settle systems. We take our work very seriously. Then I suggest you seek out one of the many other facilities available to walk-ins. I'm afraid we don't often deal with minor cases. We have a particular focus on astrovirology here, so the patients we take on tend to have unusual cases that require long-term care, and sometimes require unorthodox or experimental treatments. We have an excellent track record that speaks for itself, but it doesn't leave room for much else. If you absolutely require medical supplies, speak to Dr. Salvato. We have very limited resources I would consider extra, and he would be the one to distribute them. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of new worlds that humanity has set foot on. While many don't host some sort of life, there are more than enough that do. Any one of those worlds could be inhabited by all manner of pathogens, things we've never seen and have no idea how to treat. Someone has to try and stay ahead of what could be a very deadly curve. Here at the clinic, we do our best. None of us are in this for the credits. We are on the absolute edge of modern medicine, and we are dedicated to helping people no one else can. Either of those is reason enough for any of us to be here and do what we do. I am, yes. I took over from Dr. Eswaran when he retired 9 years ago. While the clinic does occasionally take on research projects that have their own chain of command, I am ultimately responsible for the entire facility. I'm afraid that information is confidential and restricted to our corporate partners funding the projects. The clinic has occasionally been faced with unique situations that might be considered hazardous in other facilities, but no, nothing that could not be contained and dealt with. Certainly. Would you now? Well, I suppose we could always use additional research specimens. The more data we have about what's out there in the settled systems, the faster we can diagnose novel illnesses. In theory, at least. I suppose we could consider you an independent contractor of sorts. We've made progress with alien biosuppressants, helping to prevent secondary infections when treating patients, but we could stand to learn more. If you could collect some additional samples, we'd be grateful. What we're looking for are basic organic substances. They could come from any number of flora or fauna on countless worlds across the settled systems. Just keep your eyes open as you travel and harvest things when you find them. Or frankly, if you can find them at a reasonable price somewhere, purchase them. I'm less concerned with the source than the materials themselves.
It's a grav drive. I literally can't get here any faster.
Whoa! Now that is a ship! So, this ship of yours, does it take standard, you know what? We'll figure it out.
No matter how much we learn, we're only just barely staying ahead of the curve.
People joke, say those Varun zealots worship a snake. But let me tell you, it ain't a snake. It's some kind of celestial being. They call it the Great Serpent. Is it real? Hell if I know. But they think it is. And that makes them dangerous. Hey there. What?
Worst I usually have to deal with is folks worried about getting diagnosed fast enough. Can't blame them. Yeah? Got some trouble? Oh, now hold on a minute. You're the new deputy, ain't you? Yeah, the marshal's been sending out reports, keeping us all in the loop on your investigation. Well, now that'd be telling, wouldn't it? It ain't anything bad, if that's what you're wondering. You just keep your mind on the task at hand. And having some success, by the sound of it. Ben Armistead, pleased to meet you. Well, I guess that's the long and short of it. You're the newest member of the Rangers, and I'm the oldest.
How you doing, old man?
Well, I'll be a dust wrangler's cousin, Sam Coe. Oh, it's been too damn long. Why, Cora must be what, 9, 10 years old by now?
I wish. She's 12.
Almost a teenager? My goodness. And here I thought I had enough gray hairs already. So, are you back?
Oh, no, nothing like that. I'm just out here to watch the deputy's back and see what kind of trouble we can get into.
I see. Well, back to the matter at hand, then. So, is one of them first mercenaries here at the clinic? Well, every ranger knows it's important to trust your instincts. No better place in the settled systems to get medical treatment. You can bet it beats anything them UC piglets got. Ironic, given they're the ones who built it. I know just the man who can help you. Right this way, deputy. Just between you and me, I ain't entirely sure why someone felt the need to station a ranger out here. I'm not much more than a glorified bodyguard for Dr. Darvish. She's the one in charge. Most of the staff don't seem fond of the idea of me being here.
Ben hadn't been assigned to
Bunch of stuff.
Dr. Carter is on listeners that I was crazy when I told her I wanted to transfer.
He's about the only one I can have a conversation with. Hey there, Ari. Working hard or hardly working?
Hey, Chief. A little more the former than the latter. What brings you by?
Well, the deputy here could use some help. Came looking for someone who might be a patient.
I'll see what I can do.
Well, I'll leave you in Mr. Miller's capable hands. You need anything else, I'll be in my office.
Holding up all right?
I'll try to help you, but our computer systems have been having some issues. The patient records database is acting up. Access is a lot slower than normal, and I have no idea why. I'll look into it later. For now, let's focus on your investigation. Huh. Well, we don't give the patients free access to our computer system, so I doubt that's related. And still, it's worth keeping in mind. So who's the suspect you're after? Former soldier, huh? Yeah, they say war changes people forever. Makes me sad, the thought of soldiers who come home and don't fit in anymore. The name's not ringing any bells, but maybe we can approach this another way. Do you know what was wrong with her? That should help narrow things down. I can access the patient records from my terminal, assuming the database cooperates. Come on.
Holding up all right, dude?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks for backup.
Okay, give me just a minute.
I've got a year under my belt and I'm settled.
The first couple of years are the hardest for sure. Getting used to it is
Maya Cruz. Maya Cruz. Come on, Maya. I need you to be in here. Okay, finally. Here we go. Oh. No matches found for a Maya Cruz. If Maya's here, then she's got to be using an alias. Which actually makes a lot of sense if she's a wanted woman. I guess it's possible. Maybe I can give you another option. All right, hang on. I know that we do have a few female patients staying with us. There's Candace, what's her last name? Doolin. Candace Doolin. And then there's the Nakamori woman, I think her name's Jane. I don't recall offhand what they're here for, but it's a start. You're welcome to use the Ranger Station terminal. I'll enable admin access for you. Always happy to help the Freestar Rangers. Oh, you're not familiar? I'll give you the quick version. UC built the station back in 2194. It was outside of their established territory, which caused a bit of a disagreement and a bit of a war. And after what I think most people would agree was much too long a period of time, the war ends. One of the terms was the station was handed over to the Freestar Collective.
Settled.
Of course, dear. I remember my first few years. If Ben hadn't been assigned...
Not that many really good reasons for war, are there? I think it was more about the UC expanding into systems they didn't own. The principle of the thing, not the station itself. So since then, the clinic's been under Freestar Collective control. Over 100 years now, I think. Over time, it started to focus more on weird things. People picked up on all sorts of planets and space expeditions, became known for it, and now focuses on it almost exclusively. And here we are today, carrying on that work. Actually makes me feel kind of proud when I lay it all out like that. Well, yeah, somebody has to. It's great medical care, but not the latest in support tech. Funding only goes so far, and most of it's prioritized for keeping patients alive. And there's still a lot of outdated UC tech behind the walls that needs interfacing, so I stay plenty busy. You know, I used to. Then I realized I could catch something just about anywhere. And if I did, this would be about the safest place in the galaxy to be. So, I feel like it kind of all evens out. Well, then I'd be out of a job, wouldn't I? You're not entirely wrong, though. But someone would have to convince Dr. Darvish it was a priority, and I gave up on that effort years ago. Have a good one.
Chance to talk to Dr. Cassidy. Really fun guy. Dry humor, though. So dry. You might almost think he's non-existent. Every new alien pathogen we discover is just a little more job security. Gotta look on the bright side, right?
If you're thinking about going into medicine, just be really sure before you commit to it. Really sure.
You know, just by breathing the air in here, you are being exposed to about a dozen different viruses. I'm kidding. Probably.
You heard of the Elios Retreat? Supposed to be some new age healing center for reforming criminals or whatever. Going up in Exil 2. I'm not holding my breath. Problem?
I'm no hypochondriac, but maybe we limit our time here. With all the sick people.
Got a call, someone's power kept going out. Know what it was? A heat leech as long as my leg. Ugh, yuck.
Excuse me, but you're clearly in the wrong room. Excuse me, what gives you the right to come in here? You're not my attending physician. Get out before I call for security. There's a Freestar Ranger stationed here, and if you don't leave, I'll have him called in to deal with you. I don't know what you could possibly want with me. Believe me, I hadn't intended to stay here. I'm a courier. I was transporting certain sensitive documents here to the clinic. My ship was intercepted by pirates. I escaped, but not without damage to my life support systems. By the time I reached the clinic, I was barely alive. I was rescued and placed in intensive care. That was 2 days ago. Mr. Miller handled the paperwork. You should ask him. Well, the nature of my work requires a certain level of discretion, much as yours does. I've shared all that I'm willing to share with you, Deputy. I wish I could, but if anybody found out I'd told you... No, I can't. Sorry. I'm glad you understand the position I'm in here. I'm trying to be reasonable here. I hear you. Don't get ahead of yourself. I can see that you still have doubts. If you don't believe me, then ask Mr. Miller at the desk. He can verify who I am and how I came to be here. I don't think we have anything else to discuss.
if you go out there
I'm
with
up
no
for a
helmet
little
on,
adventure.
your head'll totally explode.
I was meaning to check in with Cora anyway. Make sure your ship's still in one piece.
They say I'm ahead of schedule on my recovery. I say they ought to make better schedules. Why, hello. Are you here to keep me company? I do hope so. I can't get any of these doctors or nurses to slow down and just chat for a while. They all claim they're too busy. Ranger business? Oh, I can't imagine what for. Unless you're here to track down that no-account husband of mine, that is. You'd think he could be bothered to pay me a visit once in a while, given I've been here as long as I have. But no. All I get is the occasional letter apologizing because he's too busy to run the farm all by himself. So hire some help, I tell him. And then all he wants to do is complain about how my medical bills ate up all our money. Ugh.
Should we maybe, move things along here, ma'am?
You want to talk about questions, Well, I've got plenty of those. Starting with how come these so-called doctors can't find anything wrong with me? I've got no end of pains. Headaches, sore knees, a sore back, digestive problems, and all manner of other ailments. I keep telling them I must have caught some kind of alien virus. But these fool doctors can't figure it out. I'd had test after test for 3 months straight, and I'm damn near broke from the cost of staying here. Pretty sure I have, but you lose track of time real easy in here. All I've got is these white walls to stare at and nobody to talk to. Makes the days feel, just about endless. Well, no, I suppose not. At least not yet. But don't be surprised if I do, once they figure out this alien parasite or virus or whatever it is that's gotten into me. Well, ain't you smart using them big words? If that's supposed to make me feel better, I got news for you. It don't. I thought the high and mighty Freestar Rangers were supposed to help others in need. Yes, me. I think that sterling reputation's getting a little tarnished lately. Well, go on then. Don't let the troubles of one poor citizen distract you from whatever higher calling you all answer to these days.
The way you handle things, not bad. Not bad. I was tired of waiting around anyway.
How does she expect me to get all this done by myself? Never a dull moment.
We get the cases no one has ever seen before.
I remember when I was a deputy, just starting out. Long time ago, that was. Ari should be able to get you squared away. Well, let's see now. I joined up in 2292, so that'd be 38 years now? Damn. Hard to believe, now that I think about it. Almost 40 years. There ain't been many Rangers who served that long, I can promise you that. Well, offhand, I can only think of two. Cassie Hickson made it to 42 years before she caught a bullet from one of them Shaw gang boys. He got himself all liquored up at Aggie's. That's over in Aquila City. Started using the passers-by for target practice. Then there was old Rusty Ortega. Had a good run of 52 years and retired to a farm on Montara Luna. Passed away just a few years back. I suppose I don't think much about it, but when I stopped to count the years, well, they sure do add up. Yeah, Ari's a good kid. Sure as hell understands these machines better than I do. Well, you'd be guessing correctly then. Even if there was some kind of trouble, which there almost never is, Freestar security would handle that. Truth is, this post is what you might call ornamental in nature. Ever since the clinic came under Freestar collective control, there's been a ranger here. I reckon it's to serve as a reminder who's in charge of this place.
If you need assistance, please see Ari Miller at the desk. Yes, what do you want?
Holding up all right, dear?
Yes, that's right. I'm afraid we don't take walk-ins. If you want a room in our VIP wing, you'll need to make arrangements in advance.
First couple of years are the hardest, for sure. Getting used to it.
I'm sorry, but we don't permit unscheduled visitors to that area. You'll need to ask whoever it is that you wish to visit to make arrangements with me. Who exactly are you? You could be Solomon Coe himself, and my answer would be the same. No. The rules are the rules, no exceptions.
There's no progress that bureaucracy can't ruin.
Oh, I wasn't aware. I suppose if I can't trust a colleague, then I can't trust anyone. This will get you in. Conduct your investigation quickly and without disruption. I do hope you won't make me regret this.
the galaxy's too big to be stuck in the same place. Let's do it. Any day you make it through is a victory in my book. Certainly. Now that's it then.
Just 1 week without something weird. That's not too much to ask.
Seems like the Crimson Fleet is everywhere these days. Spreading like a virus through the settled systems.
If people would stop poking their noses into every unexplored biome in the galaxy, perhaps we'd have a little less work to do. All right, then.
It's a grav drive. I literally can't get here any faster.
Gorgeous day, isn't it? I love this place. Need something, Captain?
A pet. We live on a starship.
Of course. What's on your mind? I'd be happy to talk about that.
Somebody to talk to while I'm on the ship by myself?
It runs in the family. My mum's a doctor too. She practiced at the clinic when she was younger, and now she works at the core in Aquila City. I want to follow her footsteps and practice at the clinic someday too, but I'm not comfortable enough with space travel yet to live on a star station full time. That's why my mum encouraged me to find a job like this. She said working as a ship's doctor would be great practice. The clinic's the most advanced medical facility in the galaxy. The doctors there pride themselves on being able to cure any disease, even ones they just discovered. They have an entire research team dedicated to the study of newly emerging xenoviruses. That's really why I want to work there someday. Helping to create botanical treatments for newly discovered diseases would be a dream come true. My papa taught me everything I know. He learned about it from my koro, and my koro learned from his mother. Plants are really important on that side of my family. Generations ago, my ancestors on Earth used medicinal plants to heal the sick. When humanity took to the stars, we brought the tradition with us. I'm the latest in a long line of Tannehills to practice botanical medicine. No, we still practice the same traditions we always have, but we have a lot more plants to work with now. The Cheyenne system's chock full of useful flora. My family's been incorporating them in our medicinal practices since we settled on Aquila. I agree. It's important to stay connected with the things we left behind on Earth. Our traditions are a big part of what makes us human. What is it? Yeah, sure. I miss my parents like crazy. I wouldn't mind having a chat about them. Anything specific you wanted to know? My dad is, but my mum's from Offworld. She grew up on her parents' ship. She met my dad when she moved to Aquila to take a job at the core. Most people assume I take after my mum because we look alike, but I think I'm a lot more like my dad. He's a bit of a homebody too. My mum's the opposite. She grew up on a starship, and she always talked about how incredible it was to live in space. I'm looking forward to swapping travel stories with her next time I'm home. They were all for it. My parents know how much I want to work at the clinic, so they've always counted on me leaving home someday. Not too badly, I hope. I've been sending them tons of messages since we left Aquila. We'll have plenty to talk about the next time I'm home. It's a bit of a mixed bag. I don't mind it most days, but sometimes I still panic a little about living in such a small space. And when the ship really gets moving, I get a bit motion sick. Yeah, the day you hired me, when we left Aquila, seeing my home planet from space was breathtaking. It made me realize how small I really am. I think seeing the galaxy like this will make me a better doctor, and a better person too. Oh, Captain, no, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it like that. You're a wonderful pilot, really. All the amazing things I've seen out here are worth the discomfort. I'm glad I decided to take a chance and leave Aquila City. My dream of working at the clinic is finally starting to feel more reasonable now than it did when I left home. I'll still need to save up a lot more credits before I can afford to live there permanently, but I'm starting to get my sea legs. Space legs, I guess. See you, Captain.
Back your ear when you got a moment.
Round again.
Docking procedure is complete. This is where I belong. I've got some stuff on my mind. When you have the time.
Captain, hello. I am satisfied to see that you survived your most recent sleep cycle.
ourselves some good snow drifts, we could have a blast. You got time for a quick chat? I'd appreciate it when you're able. I don't know about you, but a fella could do a lot worse than Constellation. Carcass go to waste. Mess with me and my friend? This ain't over. Not by a long shot. Damn it. They're gone. When the time's right, I'd appreciate a chat. Grab everything useful. When you get a moment, can we talk? But I think this would be a hell of a place for it. I got some stuff in my mind. When you have the time. Hey, good to see you. This feels like old times. Caves? I like caves. Honestly, I might love caves. Is that weird? Use that for crafting or profit? I've got some stuff on my mind when you have the time.
you waiting for? Finish it. Because that's what we were hired to do. The pay was good, too. But the best part was getting to stick it to the people who turned their backs on us. I can't wait until you find out. Of course it is! We spent 20 years behind bars because our leaders got scared and called off our attack just when we had the battle won. And did the people of the Freestar Collective that we fought and died for come to our defense? No! They did nothing. Nothing! Well, now they can die. Just like most of our unit did. Fine. I ain't feeling conversational anyway. Yeah. We've got a base, a good one, too. Spent months of my life getting that place up and running. As for where it is, you're going to have to figure that out on your own. You might not think so now, but it's likely to end up that way. How about I make this real simple for us both? I've got maybe a few weeks to live, and I ain't spending them behind bars. You want to put an end to me here and now? Then fine. Get it over with. Life's kicked me around enough as it is. But if you want to let me die on my own terms, then leave me in peace. I've been abused or abandoned by everyone I ever got close to. Gave up on people and put my faith in machines instead. Wasn't until I came to the 1st Cavalry and met Major Hull that I felt I could trust someone again. Well, how about a test? Rangers are known to be handy with a gun. But here's a problem you'll have to solve with your brain instead. I've encrypted this slate. If you can crack it, you'll learn something useful. Now get out of here and leave me in peace.
It's good to be out and about. Lives get stuffy sometimes. Are you awake? Good.
Please disregard. I attempted an informal greeting, but I am dissatisfied.
When that time's right, I'd appreciate a chat. And we're away. Sorry, I plain forgot what I wanted to talk with you about. That girl. If Cora leaves her tools out one more time... I mean, I love her more than life itself, but I can only say the same damn thing so many times. Oh, next time I see her, I'll paste on a smile and ask her ever so nicely to pick them up. Again. I mean, this is between me and you, but Cora wasn't exactly planned. I don't know if I mentioned, but I served a spell in the Freestar Rangers. Had a partner, Lillian Hartz. Well, we were like fire and ice, but, well, it wasn't all bad. If anything, I think she should be jealous of you. Maybe some other time I'll get into the whole Lillian chapter. She's one of their top rangers, so they keep her in the field a lot. That's how she likes it. Well, it wasn't by choice. It was a lousy fit. Maybe someday I'll get into it. I'm just happy I found Constellation. Best damn organization in the settled systems, you ask me. It wasn't always like it is now. Hell, when Cora was born, I was completely out of my depth. For the first few months, I kept thinking what a colossal mistake I made. Me, a father. But one late night, early morning, whatever, little Cora gave me my first smile. And I knew I'd do anything for that girl. Well, Mrs. Lillian Coe was right there with me. And as bad as I had it with nursing at all hours,
I know I had it comparatively easy. But that don't mean those first few months were good by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah, sure don't feel like it. You said Cora's great, and I think so too. But I see so much of myself in her. I've done things I'm not proud of. Said things even worse. I try to be better for Cora, but is she gonna fall into the same traps? That's really reassuring. I do the best I can by her. I know it seems crazy, towing her across the stars, but I'm not exactly swimming with options here. Her mother, like I said, another story, another time. And what, have her raised by Jacob, my dad? I'd sooner ship her off to Vladimir. You think? Well, she does say the damnedest things. And if she just learned to pick up after herself, she just might live until she's 13.
Council of Governors meeting our very own.
Hopefully, I got some use to drop.
You need something? I could use a break.
Hey, Deputy.
Welcome to the Rock.
Just making my way.
It's really an honor to be able to help out.
Helga says I spend too much time at my terminal. She's probably right. Hey there, Deputy. Way I hear it, you've been keeping busy jumping from one side of the Freestar Collective to the other. How do you like the job so far? That's good to hear. So, what brings you by? It's going well so far. I think I'm close to a breakthrough. With enough data, I'll be able to tell you everything they're up to. Well, well, what do we have here? Well, this is new. Very interesting indeed. I'll see what I can do. If you can get me another one of these, it'll give me more context for the encryption and should speed things up. In the meantime, you be careful out there, Deputy. From what I've heard, these mercs mean business.